Hi friends, it's Monday again. I got back from LeakyCon at like 1:30 this morning, which is why I am in my pajamas right now because I'm exhausted. I had to work all day. But LeakyCon was really good. It wasn't the best that I've ever been to because I think a large part of it was that a lot of my good friends who usually go weren't able to go this year. But I did still have a really good time with my friends who did go, and hopefully we'll have some footage to put up about that this weekend. Words, 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 words. This week's section is chapters 8 through 14, and I brought along a bunch of little stickies with me for reading in the airport and marking things that I wanted to talk about, but apparently I didn't bring enough little stickies because I have a whole bunch of little things that I want to talk about. I sometimes get really annoyed by Hassan, which I realize is his function as a character. That's what he's supposed to do some of the time, is like just drive you nuts. But I really hate when Hassan just tells Colin, not interesting, when Colin is saying something, because usually whatever Colin is talking about is something that I find interesting. Like when he's talking about how Nikola Tesla passed 50,000 volts through his body and his hair stood on end for a week. And like, I think that's hilarious and fascinating. I love random trivia and I watch Jeopardy like every single night that I can, so Hassan bugs me when he does that. Then on the opposite page is where we meet Lindsay's dog, Princess, and Colin notes that Catherine 19 had a dog too, which was a miniature dachshund named Fireball Roberts. John's dog, Willie, full name Fireball Wilson Roberts, thing that amused me. And further down the page, they are visiting the Gutshot Textile Factory, and they go into the Starnes-Wilson break room. That's something that I really like that John does, and I like when all authors do that. It's when they bring up a small, teeny tiny, practically insignificant little piece of plot or exposition or whatever, like when they were interviewing Starnes-Wilson earlier, and he mentions that he worked at Gutshot Textiles so long that the break room is named after him. And then John deliberately puts in a scene where they go into that break room and you see that follow through, and I really like that, and that's something that I aspire to do in my own writing, is to follow through on little tiny things like that that I think make the story and the environment and the setting richer. This sentence just like made me fall in love. Books are the ultimate dumpies. Put them down and they'll wait for you forever. Pay attention to them and they always love you back. So true. John Green, you are amazing and I love you and I wish I could write like you and make these great observations like that. And the last thing that I want to talk about today is something that John does in this book that's different than what he does in his other books, and I've never seen an author do this besides John, and I really like it, is when Colin and Lindsay are having their private conversation in Lindsay's little hidey hole out in the woods, and it's completely dark and so they can't see each other, and they talk for a while and then it just goes silent, and John literally puts into the text, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, ellipses in quotation marks. So it's like Colin and Lindsay's silence almost becomes tangible. And I really like that, because it's so true. If you've ever been sitting and having a deep conversation with someone, especially in a really quiet place, it just, after a while, you kind of lapse into silence and you know you're both thinking about what happened and you can really feel the silence. And then eventually somebody else starts to talk again. And then you lapse into another silence. So I really like the visual aspect of that and how it makes the silence tangible. Also, I like that it forces the reader to really use their imagination and try to picture what's going on in that scene, because you've all of a sudden you've just got 4 lines of ... But it doesn't feel like the action has stopped. It's just gone quiet, and so you really kind of have to force yourself through to picture that. And I think that's a really interesting technique as far as writing is concerned. So those are my thoughts on this section of the book. I actually already went ahead and finished the book because I had nothing else to read on the plane because we got stuck in an airport for way longer than we were supposed to. But I'm really excited to do next week's video now because of the end. I just blah. And that's for next week. Anyways, I hope you all have a good week. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody else's videos. Bye!